My name is Michael, and you're at the Wild Women Show. I hope that you know you're at the Wild Women Show. Hello. Okay, so today is 8/28, August 28th, and today is move out day from this lovely campsite that has been keeping me safe and giving me a place to sleep peacefully, semi-peacefully, for the last few months. Tonight I am starting my 100-mile trek to Lookout Mountain that borders Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and I think it's just those 3 states. Recap of today. So while I was walking today, I got lost and didn't realize I was lost for like an hour. So I ended up doing a lot more miles than I had originally anticipated. And it took me longer to get here, and I had to cheat. Thankfully I had a little bit extra in my account so I could take an Uber to get to the park that I'm at now. But yeah, like today I was struggling again. It very much felt like and feels like Atlanta's trying to keep me here, but I'm leaving. And I haven't decided if I'm coming back yet. So yeah, that happened today. I've been resting all day, stretching. I'm definitely gonna take at least another extra day or two to rest and stretch, run some errands in the area to get some food and some provisions that I will need for the remainder of my walk. But yeah, so that's what happened today on Saturday. And like I honestly like once I realized, I had to laugh at myself because like, you know, like what else can you do? What else can you do? And I was able to still go a little bit further. I was still able to make the majority of my trail with extra time and mileage. So I still went over what I had planned to do for the day. I am currently at a park that does the Civil Revolution reenactments. So I think that this also is a reminder to me, like, and I'm not even think I know, like, me getting here, coming here, and the way that I found my current campsite, has been a reminder of the fact that, like, first and foremost, my journey is spiritual. Like, I am listening to my intuition. I am listening to the ancestors, not just the ancestors that had skin and bones like I did, but also the trees, the air, the water. Where I'm at right now, I was led to a particular tree. And then, like, I read this book about the power of quiet, like quiet people, and quiet revolutionaries like Rosa Parks. She wasn't somebody that like did protests, like big protests or anything. She literally was just tired and sat in the bus seat and was just like, I'm tired, like that's it. And I've been thinking about that a lot. That's been like going around in my brain because I've had a lot of family, friends, strangers, you know, with the heckling and the, oh, you need a job, and oh, like not so suddenly, oh, well, this place is higher, this place is higher. Meanwhile, all of these places are literally just barely paying minimum wage. So slavery. And in these times, in this climate, this political climate, this world climate, this nation climate, this is my protest. It's not big. It's not, you know, like there's no frills on it. It's not easy. But it's not like I'm yelling at people. I'm not yelling at people back anymore and trying to get them to understand where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to force them to see like the way that the world is set up right now is unnatural. I'm not trying to force anybody to see that I am doing my best to recalibrate not just my life, but my lineage. Like, I want to have kids. I want to raise my kids in a certain way. I want them to be well versed and to have the guidance that I have not had, in order to live a life that is balanced with the natural world first and foremost, that is balanced with the spiritual world first and foremost. And me doing this hard work of silently walking to the mountains and fasting and carrying all this weight literally and figuratively, and just trying to live as authentically as I can be for myself. I think that is the most important thing about this process, about this journey. So I still have a lot of miles to go, but we are already so far. Like, I'm gonna do a calculation, but yeah, I'm definitely over my mileage for what I thought. Okay, we are 1 week into this experience, September 5th. Last night at 10:42, I was put into handcuffs for walking in the middle of the street, according to the officer, and for refusing to give my ID, which I had stated that I would like several times for like a good 10 minutes. I don't want you to just tell me what the law says. I want to know the specific law. I want to be able to look it up so I can confirm that you have probable cause. Was aggressively speaking, because first of all, I don't have to stay calm. That's your job. You're the one wearing the uniform. Second of all, one of them that was trying to, he seemed like he was on the fence about what was going on. Like, he knew his partners, he knew the people he was working with, but he also knew the position that I was in, and he was trying to make sure that when he go back to his partners, he don't have no issues. But he's also trying to let me know, like, look, I'm trying to get you out of here. But like, I'm like aggressively asking, because by the time that specific officer got there, I've already been surrounded by 4 white men. I've already been put in handcuffs. I've already yanking my backpack off me, but didn't take it off properly, so it's still hanging on by the buckle. All I did was ask, which I have the right to do, is ask, why are you arresting me? I want the specific law. I want to be able to look it up before I hand over my ID, because what? So yeah, we go through all of that. They asked if I have anything on me. I don't have no marijuana, but I do have herbs, and I showed them the herbs and all of that, and they made sure that I got in the car and felt the second pair of handcuffs and the whole 9 yards. And another reason why I didn't want to give them my name is because I know that I've already been shown in several ways in the last week that this is not just a regular walk. Like, I'm starting a new season in my life. I've already decided before I came here, outside of the spirituality of it all, but I'm trying to become an anthropologist. I'm studying human behavior. I'm studying our patterns. I'm studying how we operate as a collective and individual cultures. So this is going down. This is good. This is research right now. God, thank you for the experience. Officer. I don't even know. Whatever their name was. It was 5 of them. Sheriff and police. Oh, it wasn't Ackworth. I thought it was Ackworth. I was in Cartersville. I was on West Cherokee Avenue in Cartersville in Bartow County. And there's no price on here of how much I have to pay. I have to go online to figure that out. And like, when y'all could have just told me, and I literally said that. I said that over and over. I'm willing to give you my ID. What is the specific law? And then the one that's not in uniform, it's not our responsibility to know the law, but it's your responsibility as a citizen to know the law. Right? I'm like, I know that you guys are not trained to know the law. Like, I'm very aware of that. Like, I have a right to express using my First Amendment right, because the Constitution is still in place. If last time I checked, they didn't get to that yet. Hopefully, prayerfully. But I have the right to express my anxiety. I have a right to express my frustration. I have a right to express how upset I am at y'all behaving like stereotypes. Like, and like, that's what like really made me laugh at the end of the day. I'm like, y'all really have no new tactics. And we are new people. Not only are we the ones that have been experiencing and walking and learning in today's day and age with technology at our fingertips, but we are tapping into the ancient ways. There are those of us, people like me, that are taking the time to face the unknown and to gain access to practices, to traditions, to lifestyles that have not been normal or normalized for thousands of years at this point. That's not a coincidence. So yeah, they let me out, gave me a citation. I guess here's the citation. Also, spiritually, like, this is a spiritual journey for me. I am tapping into deeper parts of myself, lifetimes that I have not lived in this skin. So I know the ramifications, back to my point of the other reason why I didn't want to give my name. I know the ramifications of getting to the point of someone doing something intentionally, which by then I had already knew this was planned. Y'all was bored. Y'all saw a black lady walking by herself in y'all's area, and you wanted to make sure that she understood where she was and who you were, and that she remembered her place. Because I was told several times, you keep running off at the mouth, that's just gonna make it worse. I don't understand how me running off the mouth, using my First Amendment right to express my uncomfortability, my anxiety, my very real threatened life right now of 5 white men, and only 4 of them in uniform, manhandling me into cuffs for walking on the side of the road and not getting hit, and y'all being intentionally trying to hit me to make a point so that you could feel justified in pulling me over. Like, so spiritually, I know, like, once you know my name, then I have to tell you, then I have to give you the warning. Because this is something that I've learned, not just from me being homeless, not just from this past year, but from my entire lifetime. I am literally, in this moment, literally walking karma, but figuratively walking karma. Everything about my name is about justice. It's about balance. My first name is Michael. My parents were my father at least was very intentional with the name that he gave me. I am named after the Archangel Michael and given the biblical pronunciation of that name. That is the first thing. And I told him when I finally gave them my license, I was like, okay, so now that you know my name, I'm gonna make sure that you know everything. All of this, y'all need to, whatever you pray to, I hope you're spiritual. I hope you know the true meaning of repenting, because you have just put yourself in a place where you are now going to receive a certain amount of karma for this event. Like, I don't care about the, like, I was at the point now, like, I was laughing. I was like, y'all, like, first of all, this country is so unserious. like y'all so unserious. Y'all really put me in handcuffs because I didn't want to give you my license, because I have the right to ask questions to make sure that you are not just pulling me over for any old reason. What? But, like, I know the ramifications of people doing anything towards me, putting me in any uncomfortable positions, having any type of ill intent towards me. Like, once you know my name, now I have to run it all down. So I was like, yep, that's my first name. My middle name is Deborah. I hope you read your Bible. Deborah is about justice. Her name means justice. Okay? And I didn't even get to tell them that, like, they put me in the back of the quad car, and I was talking to the ancestors. I was like, you know what? Thank you. I need a little rest. My feet were starting to hurt anyway, and you know what? I'm not even gonna be praying for mercy, because I'm not praying for mercy. Whatever y'all fucking get, y'all get. Today is Monday, September 15th, and I am finally going to go to the reason why I even came to this town. The first of many mounds that I would like to see, that I will be visiting over the next few years, that are the pyramids of the U.S. If you did not know, the United States have pyramids. Go on TikTok, it's out there. Okay? Things that I have been researching that have brought me to this point of wanting to visit these historic sites is laws around the $5 Indian. That is not just a derogatory term, that is actually a historical term to remind us of the laws that were put into place in order to make the current Native Americans, as well as the laws surrounding the reclassification and naming of Black people in America. The very intentional renaming and classification and laws around that, and why it was at one point considered illegal for any of us to call ourselves Indigenous Americans. So that's why I'm here. And just in case, because you know how the U.S. internet likes to be, this is for entertainment purposes only. These are my opinions that I've come to the conclusion of. I'm going to throw a few terms and things at you guys, but you already know my motto: do your research, do your own research, and don't just go on the internet because someone can control and change what was originally written. Go to your local library, see and look up the publishing dates of when certain things were published. Were they published before or after the internet was created? All of those things. So do your research, cite your sources. If you're a millennial or older, you definitely should know how to at least cite your sources, okay? But yeah, so even though I did complete my 40 miles about a week and a half ago, I had to take this time to recalibrate my body, my mind, and my nervous system for obvious reasons before I felt prepared and spiritually aligned to be able to go to the site and pay my respects to our ancestors. So I'm glad that I had an unexpected meeting that kept me here an extra day. And during my walk last night, because the last 10, 12-ish days that I've been here, I was in one part of the city, and I had experienced not necessarily just one side, but for the majority of the part, one side, one mindset, one type of energy. Last night into this morning, in my walk here to be able to do all the editing and everything that I'm about to do, I got a different view of the city and the people, and it made me realize something very important, something that I thought I would never get caught up in, but that is I always I like to talk about the power of perception a lot. That is going to be something that I do study in my next anthropological project. However, I have always heard and read about and thought that I was in the belief and the action from the belief that the U.S. issue is not a race issue, is a class issue. And because I'm so well read, I love saying, oh, I love everybody, and I'm very open-minded, and I would never get caught up in. No, obviously, I got caught up in the events that started my relationship with this city, and it made me realize just how easy it is to fall into a false sense of security in what you think you are, who you think you are, and how you think you are moving through the world. And then also how you can become blind to your own perceptions, and how that can impact how you deal with the people that are in proximity that may not, most likely not, don't have anything to do with the reason for you being lulled into that state of perception. My state of perception when I was walking into the city, the whole arrest and everything, and for obvious reasons, it was very racially charged. Like, there were a lot of assumptions made. It was very clear that assumptions were made in them pulling me over, and how it went. It left a bad taste in my mouth. It left me with, I don't just believe a stereotype. I'm actively living in a stereotype, and because of that, I did a disservice to myself and to the people that are products of their environment, honestly. Like, starting with our currency system, we are still using the same systems that were alive and well and started during slave times. So it's literally unavoidable because it's literally ingrained to every part of how this country works. However, last night just made me realize that we are all in the same boat. We are literally all in the same boat. I had come across a few people that I did not expect to come across. That and there's one gentleman in particular, Mr. Richard. Happy birthday, Mr. Richard. I hope our conversation did help, but it just made me realize that we all have a lot of work to do, and the work that is for the other side, so to speak, and what we as the minorities, the people of color, can do to help is to show them how to work through the trust that has been broken. And it's not been broken between us and them. It's broken between themselves. Like, you have to think about it from the perspective of, if you've been raised to believe something your entire life, if you've been raised to believe that a certain type of president, a certain type of lifestyle, a certain type of mindset, a certain type of religious perspective, a certain type of whatever is the only way, is the right way, you take action on what you have been raised and conditioned to believe is reality. And then you are faced with the real reality of the consequences of not using critical thinking, of not being able to decipher what it is you truly believe and how your decision making can impact your life. There are literally everybody is going through it. Everybody is struggling to pay the bills. Everybody is struggling to feed themselves. Everybody is struggling to find hope. Everybody is struggling to find steady ground. Everybody's struggling to not live in fear every day. We are all in the same boat together. So I just wanted to close out this video before I start the rest of these 80 miles that I got to go, to first acknowledge my error, because I hopefully with how I've been doing this vlog and what I've been telling you guys, you have an understanding that I'm not trying to present myself as being perfect. I'm not trying to present myself as I'm not holier than thou or anything like that. I'm not even religious anymore. I'm only spiritual. I do use religion to help guide me because I have been raised around a lot of them and a lot of different demographics my entire life. So I like to know how everybody is thinking about the Creator and how to find the truth within.
Okay, 2 things. If you guys want more regular updates, or I post not daily, but majority of the time daily, on Snapchat at just_MyKyle. And then I post my shorter video recaps on my TikTok at MyKyle Roland. I will put both in the description. Also, I have published my the first in a new series of chapbooks, which is short poetry books that I have been working on, and I will also put the link in the description as well. Thank you for supporting.